And developing on Capitol Hill, a U.S. Senate staffer who worked in Maryland Senator Ben Carden's office is out of a job after video allegedly shows him having sex inside of a Judiciary Committee hearing room.
What happens when you open the door to a beast that's trying to devour you? And you say to yourself, it won't get me. And then the beast gets in the door and you say, oh, how did the beast get in the door? And then you try to close the door and the beast breaks the door. What happens when you do that? Well, you get what you deserve. That's what you get. Why am I saying that particular story? Well, recently there was a staffer for a certain Democrat senator. And apparently this individual had been recording videos in the Senate floor of a sexual nature having to do with same sex. Now, the beast itself that I talked about is allowing every and any sexual orientation to become the norm. And when you open that door, you bring in your own destruction, is what it really does. But what do you do when you don't want it leading back to you? I'll tell you what you do. You distance yourself from the problem. You see, while we identified this particular senator as Senator Ben Carden, Maryland. Now, understand this. When you minus the person from it, the story stops at the one that did the activity, which is what they're hoping you do. So let's do the opposite of what they're hoping we do. We're going to trace this all the way down and show something that I think nobody else is really going to talk about, but too strong will. You see, just like with any event, they always project what they've been doing on somebody else. You're trying to destroy the nation. You're trying to hurt the kids when they themselves are doing the exact same thing right in front of you. This particular person, but I'm not going to say his last name because I'll butcher it, but his name is Aiden. Aiden was the staffer that was eventually fired. Now, when you look at what the senator and his staff said after the firing, I think it'll explain everything that needs to be explained about the situation. And I want to read this for you. They said he has been fired and he no longer works for the U.S. Senate, and we have no further comment on this personal matter. How is it personal when this person was doing it in a public office? That's no longer personal, people. This includes us. If they're doing that on a place that we are supposed to have access to in terms of information, it is not personal. By any stretch of the imagination, is this personal? You see, what they're trying to do is distance themselves. We didn't know. We had no clue. And so because we didn't have no clue, we let him go. Don't worry about it. I don't understand how they expect. Well, I do understand. They do expect people to buy it because people have bought it for a long time. The perpetrator had this to say. This has been a very difficult time for me as I have been attacked for who I love to pursue a political agenda. While some of my actions in the past, in the past have shown poor judgment, poor judgment, huh? Okay. I love my job. Which one? Which job do you like? Because you were supposed to be doing one and you were doing the other, and would never disrespect my workplace. Anyway, any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I will be exploring what legal actions and options are available to me in these matters. Now, maybe it's just me. And my head hurts from thinking about that. It might be just me. But usually when you're caught on film by your own hand, you can't blame somebody else for thinking what you put out there. That's like Hunter Biden saying, I didn't do no crack, while you put yourself on video doing crack and then do an interview saying that you still do it and then want to get mad at people for saying that you do it. This individual has the cojones to say to you that you should not be judging them based on what they've done. And you shouldn't be talking about who they love when they're putting it in your face. Then they will tell you that it's been rough for them and they would never disrespect their workplace while disrespecting their workplace. The idiocy is incredible. It is incredible. But you know what you'll never hear an apology from Mr. Carden, because you won't hear anything from it again. You'll never see hide nor hair of this person. And this will be swept under the rug. Not that it will discontinue. The actions may very well still go on. But you will never, ever, ever hear about this case again. So, what would have caused this to get to this level? Well, just look at the kind of person we have as president. So far, we've had a rainbow colored White House, we've had a trans Easter, and now we just had a non binary Christmas. You've opened the door for the beast. And when people walk into your home and see all the mayhem from the beast destroying it, and you want to look at me and say, "I wasn't no beast. I don't know what happened here. I wasn't home when this happened. I was somewhere else." So who opened the door? I don't know. It wasn't me though. That's what they want you to believe. You see, this is eventually what they want to happen everywhere. We've already seen students report teachers for doing this exact same thing, because it's been allowed now in the schooling system for teachers to push this nonsense on kids. It's going to happen in your workplace, and pretty soon you can't say anything about it because you'll be discriminating, and you'll make the person feel like this guy, giving them a difficult time for who they love. When they come to work dressed a certain way to put it in your face, you can't say anything because you're discriminating. We are about to encounter some crazy, crazy, crazy times. And so far, it's gotten into our governmental offices. I think that's where it actually originated for me. We're just now seeing it. You're going to see more and more people come forward. I have no idea. I don't know what's happening, but they are the ones that pass all the bills for this nonsense to get to the places that you'll see it reported in. They've already ousted most women from their own sport due to binary this and trans that. It's only a matter of time before they start telling you that you can't call your son a son and your daughter a daughter. And they will imprison you for doing that because you're not being kind. Remember the whole Bible verse, good for evil and evil for good? They'll switch it up. We're there. We are officially there. And their goal is to influence you into accepting they're crazy. They want you to believe that everything that they're doing is the right and what you're doing is the wrong. We've been called to stand our ground. And that ground standing may cost you a lot. In some cases, your work, your schooling, and in some cases, it might cost you your life. The real question then comes down to this. Is your belief in the one that created you stronger than the agenda that these people are pushing? Because you will have to choose. And you're not only going to have to choose for you, you're going to have to choose for your kids. Make the choice, but hear me out. Choose wisely.